How many?
Well, chapter 6.
Slow down there. Sabbath peace.
Sabbath peace.
It's another opportunity for us to come together and hear and learn of the word of truth that's given to us by the Most High God. All honor goes to the Father through the Son, whose name is Yahushua. In him lies the only hope for salvation. We know that it is obtained by grace through faith, not of works, lest anyone should boast, and given freely as a gift to all who obey him. We understand that if you do not obey him, it is made manifest or made obvious that you do not believe. In this state, you should expect no good thing from the Most High. However, anything that you do get, whether it be a gift of tongues, a gift of prophecy, or any supernatural experience that you may have, it can and it will be used against you in the day of judgment. With that said, peace to the saints that are in the room, to the saints that couldn't make it, to the saints watching on the camera, but no peace to the wicked. The only thing we say to them is repent that they might live. Right? Where are we starting off today? What you got? Give me a book. Come on, give me a book.
Verse 2.
No, you got to give me a book, not a verse, not a chapter.
Whoa.
What you got, Daniel? You know what I'm saying? Where we kicking off today? What you want to do?
Obadiah.
Oh, that's nice there. Obadiah. You know what I'm saying? Zahar. You said Obadiah 2?
Obadiah don't got no chapters to it.
No, it's just one chapter. Obadiah 2. Let's do Obadiah verse 2.
Spell Obadiah.
It's Obediah.
What's the page?
It don't work with page number, son. You just got to find the reference. That whole book, you know what I'm saying? It's training here, you know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to flip through it and find what you need. That's training, you know what I'm saying? You teach a man how to understand this book. You know what I'm saying? What else you need in life? You can figure out the rest of it. These people don't appreciate the wisdom that comes from this book. That's why these people all darn backwards in their brain. They can't figure stuff out. They've been lied to their whole life. People get lied to daily, their whole life. They get to the point where they can't even sort stuff out for themselves. They got to be on the weeds all day. You know what I'm talking about? You got to smoke weed all darn day just because, I haven't been able to sort through my thought. It's important for us to honestly be honest with each other as a people. Like, the reason we on weed and we on drugs and all these things is because there's thoughts that we dealing with that we cannot sort through. We haven't been equipped to sort through these things. So now we've been pushed into a place where it's like, it's acceptable to escape these things, and it's perpetual, right? I have to do this daily and consistently to kind of get out of it. I've grown a dependency on this drug to get me out of my normal mind state, my sober mind state, because there's thoughts that I have to deal with that I haven't coped with. I haven't figured out how to deal with it. And sometimes it get to me even when I'm on the weed. So guess what I got to do then? Now I got to get drunk too. Now I got to do this too. I got to do that too, right? And that's how the stuff escalate, because these people got issues that they dealing with internally that they don't want to have to deal with, right? This book could clear all that stuff up, man. The whole thing with the book, a lot of people, they present the book to us like it's just some feel-good thing. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not a feel-good thing to build. The book gonna hurt you, right? Book gonna hurt you. What is Jeremiah? What Jeremiah tell us? He told us it was he said the word is, where is that at?
The word is like fire.
Like a hammer. You know what I'm talking about? Where is that at?
The hammer that breaks
Find
the
that for
rock
me.
in pieces.
Yeah, find that for me. Jeremiah told us, he said the word, Most High God word is like a hammer. You know what I'm talking about?
My word like fire.
Yeah, he said it burned like fire. You gotta pay attention when the word is being described, because it get like the whole word. The word is kind of, it's a diagnosis, right? That's what we're looking at, right? We're looking at this big diagnosis, and so if things are not lining up according to the diagnosis, then that means it doesn't fit. Like, it doesn't fit for what's being diagnosed. You can't, like, if the word is telling you this is what a righteous man look like and this is what evil look like, if you don't line up with whatever being described, then that means that ain't it. So now if your experience with hearing God's word is like always a chill down your spine, and this warm feeling in your heart, and this comforting. And the book come back and it tell you it's like a hammer. That don't fit. Like whatever you experiencing, that's not the word. You find it? Look up Jeremiah, you know what I'm saying? It should say Jeremiah, you know what I'm saying, word hammer. You know what I'm saying? Just Google that, see what it say. Because at the end of the day, it's important for us to know that.
The hammer that breaks the rock in pieces. Jeremiah 23:29.
It's Jeremiah, let's check it out. It's Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 29. I would have never guessed that thing. I was about to say Jeremiah 8 or something like that. Jeremiah chapter 23. It's Jeremiah chapter 23. Let's give it a little bit of space. It's Jeremiah chapter 23, maybe verse 27. Let's see where it starts. These people try to confuse us, man. They try to have these people. Listen, if you let these people tell it, man, they'll have you feeling like you darn crazy. It's like people that lost all their darn common sense. Every ounce of it is like every ounce of common sense just gone. It's Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 27.
28.
It's Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 28.
No, 26.
It's Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 26.
How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? Yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart.
These people be lying. That's what the book just said. He said, these people be darn lying. I was listening to a radio show the other day. He said, he introduced himself, I'm apostle, this, that, and I was like, oh, you can just go, you just go ahead and move on. How you going to be a darn apostle? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Do you know what it means to be an apostle?
Obviously not.
How in the world your butt gonna be an apostle? Man already told you. How many pillars is it?
12.
And who sit on top of it?
Yeah, oh, shoot. With Peter and
he said it's gonna be 12 pillars for the apostles that they gonna sit on and judge. I'm trying to figure out which one did you move out the way for you. I'm trying to figure out which one that you was like, nah, I got that seat. Like, who'd you scrap for the seat? While you running your darn mouth. You ain't never heard about no apostle that sit anywhere else. Oh, no, you a lower level apostle. You never heard of it. You making it up. People, like, everybody just got to be grandiose, bro. It's to the point that anybody who's meek, right? It's to the point that if I walk in and I say, and I'm just honest, right? I'll just say, well, you know, honestly, I ain't never had no vision. I ain't never had nothing. Most High God ain't never spoke to me directly and told me, yo, this is how it's supposed to be. Now I just read the book and like, you know what I'm saying, it's pretty clear. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is. People look at that and be like, nah, he don't know what he's talking about. But if I just walked up and told him, God summoned me.
I had a dream.
I took a long drive into the Mojave Desert. Where the Mojave Desert at? Let's say, I took a long drive into, what's that desert? The real hot one? Right
Death
here.
Valley?
Death Valley. I took a long drive into Death Valley, and I got lost. And I was going through a trans on my way to California. Next thing I know, I opened my eyes, and I was over there by, you know, you drive to California, you got that little shiny thing.
Yeah.
I was in the midst of the shiny
Like
thing.
all the solar
You know what I'm saying? I was in the midst of the shiny thing, and I felt burning on my skin as all the light hit my skin all at once. And there, God spoke to me. He said, you, my son, you, take my word to all of Las Vegas. If I came with that story, that thing could be packed out. That thing a big lie. This thing could be packed out. I can tell these people whatever I want to tell them and charge them money for it. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you the psychology, how messed up we are. If I told y'all and everybody else, you need to pay tithes to me, do you understand that would give us more? I could teach all the same stuff. I could do all the same stuff. Do you understand that in itself would give us more people? The psychology of it is, the reason why these people get stuck in churches is not because they believe in church. A lot of people that go to church, they'll be the first one to tell you, my pastor ain't all the way right. yeah, a lot of them people in there is hypocrites, this, that, and the other. They'd be the first to tell you. You ain't even got to wait for it. They'd be the first to tell you
It's my job to talk bad about church.
Oh, no. They know it, right? Let me tell you the psychology of it, though. Because I paid money into this system, right? You got something called cognitive dissonance. I don't want to look like an idiot and turn my back after I made my investment. It's just like any investment. It's no different. Any investment you make. You know what I'm saying? When you gambling, right? Let's say you at the crap table. You hitting that thing. Boom, boom. Let's say you put $200 in there. You lost it, though. How quick are you to walk away from that? Because you've been hitting. Boom, boom, boom. And all of a sudden, lost it all. What it feel like? Don't you feel like, man, this next one, I could probably get it back. I don't want to walk around my whole 200. I don't want to leave the whole 200 on the table. At least let me get $6 back. Right? That's the mindset. Because you've already made an investment and you feeling like, man, I don't want to step away from that. That's how these people are. If I charge people, I'm like, nah, man, you got to pay tithes to me. I'm God's man. God chose me. You see what the book say. The book say the worker is worthy of his wages. Oh, John, listen, I got book. I light people up with some book. Now give me my money. You know what I'm talking about? I'm telling you, if I did that, oh, these people be lining up. These people, oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, take the money. And they'd stick around. You know when it get real? I don't require nothing on you. You know what I'm saying? I just want you to be saved. Let me tell you what people gonna do. That's how backwards the devil got us. He got our minds all discombobulated. We can't figure out left from darn right. Because that's what it is. These people be out here lying to us. How you gonna sit here and tell me Islam is the right religion and that Muhammad is the last prophet? You mean tell me after the Most High God sent his daughter, just help me out. After he sent his son, and he told his son that you gonna be the one, and he told everybody who was standing around at the time, this is my beloved son, hear him. He told you that the man gonna die, come back, and he did. Then he said, even after that, the man gonna come back. You trying to tell me that then the last prophet comes after him? Like it ain't no prophet after that. Even though Revelation telling us there's going to be prophets at the end. Revelation tell us, the whole, not just Revelation, Joel tell us, in this book, Muslims say they go along with the scriptures, right? So Joel tell us, there's going to come a day where I'm going to pour out my spirit on your people and I'm going to make prophets out of them. They're going to all prophesy. But yet, Muhammad that haven't happened yet, but Muhammad is the last prophet. Like, man, if y'all don't get y'all lying butts out of here, I just don't want to deal with it. Like, I don't want to deal with all these. Y'all some lying. That's what the book talking about. These prophets are liars. You got these Hebrews like they lying too. All of them lying. These boys just be lying. So now when I come in and I tell the truth, that thing don't even sound grandiose enough. It don't sound fantastical enough. You know what I'm saying? Like I need a little more. Like tell me something else. They got people out here doing tricks. You know what I'm saying? Like they tap dancing for these people trying to be like the most amazing version of a man of God. Like no, we don't have time for that. I'm not trying to make you laugh. I mean, we do laugh, but I'm not trying to make you laugh. Like that's what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to teach the word and make it real to you. Because we've been so desensitized and we've been fed this lie about the book being fairy tale that it's in our subconscious. Like even if we say it ourselves, like, oh no, I believe the book, it's in our subconscious. It's like for a long time I couldn't get it out of my head that Jesus was white. I mean, I acknowledge that we Hebrews and we black, but every time somebody say Jesus, I saw a white man in my head. And it bothered me. And it took me a long time to be like, no, I don't want to see nothing in my head when you, like, I just want to see the book. Like, that's all I want to see. I don't want to see anything. I don't want to see a black man either. I don't want to see nothing. I just want to see the book. But all the time, I always saw the man like this. You know what I'm saying? Hanging on the darn thing with his hair darn going forward and a darn choppy hat. Right? It's like, no, I don't want to see that. Like, I just want to see nothing. I just want to see the word. That's it. Like, I want the word. Y'all sure to pop up in my head. And that's what it is. Now I appreciate God. Right now, I ain't got to think about no image. I ain't got no Because when I see the man, I don't want to be like, oh, you don't even look like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to have no expectation of what he going to look like. I don't know what the man going to look like. You know what I'm saying? All I want to see is Yahushua. That way, when I see him, I just see him. You know, I see him for whatever he is. I just don't want to be tricked. That's my whole life, though. Right? I don't want nobody to get over on me. I don't want nobody to trick me. I don't want nobody to deceive me. So I go through a lot to make sure that what I believe is correct. Am I always right? No, not necessarily, right? But the real thing is, when you honest, you correct yourself. That's what it is to go through the book. You look through the book and you be like, no, I believe this. But then you read it and you be like, oh, no, that's wrong. And you correct yourself. You don't spend a whole bunch of time just like, you know what I'm saying? I had somebody on Facebook the other day that's like, I posted, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know what a tonsil was. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you know, I just learned all the time. I didn't know what a tonsil was. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I always thought the dangly thing in the back of your throat, you know what I'm saying? Like right in the middle, I always thought that was your tonsil. So when people tell you your tonsil given out, I assume that they didn't have a dangly thing no more. By golly, turns out there's two things on the side of that are your actual tonsils. You know what I'm saying? And that's what gets removed. So I'm looking like, goodness gracious. All this time, I never knew that. So, you know, one of my friends posted on my post, you know, we a little adversarial about what we believe and, you know what I'm saying, this, that, and other. So she said, wonder what else you don't know and you think you know. So I'm like, let me explain to you. I didn't say nothing, but you have to explain the difference. There may be a million. You might be able to fill the Staples Center with everything I don't know and I think I know, right? Here's the difference, though. When you bring it to me, I'm not kicking and fighting. If it's presented to me and that's what it is, then that's what it is. A lot of us, what we've done is we put ourselves in the position to say we know something and we confidently know something, right? And if somebody brings us something that's contrary to what we confidently know, we pretend like we right and that's wrong. That's our problem. The problem is not thinking you know something in ignorance. That's gonna happen, right? The problem is once you are at a point and you need correction, are you humble enough to sit your butt down and be like, oh no, I was wrong? Ain't nobody got that testimony against me. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I ain't about to spend a whole bunch of time on it. I'm about to give you a quick explanation. Well, listen, this is why I thought, this is what it is, and then we gone. That's it. We all to the race. Because my whole thing is not being wrong. I can't not be wrong if I know I'm wrong and I don't accept what's right. I'm always going to be wrong. So my whole thing is I don't want to be wrong. So if you prove me wrong, guess what? I'm adopting what you got because my philosophy is anything that's good belongs to who? God. If it's good, it belongs to God. And if it belongs to God, it belongs to me. Period. Because he said, if it's revealed, who is it? What is that? Goodness gracious.
Deuteronomy.
Yeah, Deuteronomy what?
It's
what,
towards
6?
the end.
Nah.
It's not?
Nah, it's beginning. That's beginning.
I'm not sure.
You might be
maybe.
Right. Maybe you're right. Let me see. I ain't going to remember it,
because he was like, who is going to go down to the earth to pick it up? Anybody going to go to heaven to receive it? It's towards the end.
You might be right.
And this word is near to you. You don't got to go all up in heaven and bring it, have somebody bring it down. You don't got to go all the way up beneath to have somebody bring it up.
Dad.
Yeah, you're right. Deuteronomy 29:29. It's Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 29.
You want to finish Jeremiah?
We're going to come back to Jeremiah. It's Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 29. Huh?
Am I searching great books coming tomorrow?
Is this the appropriate time to ask me about that? In the middle of study? All right, so pay attention, please. You can take a butt to sleep then. It's Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 29. Watch what the book says.
The secret things belong unto the Lord our God.
So if it's a secret, guess what? It belongs unto the Most High God. But if it get revealed to you and you bring it to me and be like, nah, man, you've been wrong about all this time. Man, a tonsil is actually this. What am I supposed to do? No. Tonsil is the dangly thing. I don't care what you say. That's crazy. No, I'm be like, oh, for real? We ain't dead. Did you hear any argument out of it when we saw it on that video? We were watching the video. I didn't say, no, this ain't the right video. Let me find another one. That's what these foolish people do. I don't have time for that. No, I just got that. Tonsil is a tonsil. Ain't no different when it comes to the book. And that people show me stuff. I used to be on that Christian stuff. He's like, no, the baptism is just. I used to be one of them guys. Baptism is just a symbolic representation. It's actually not. I used to be one of them guys. Teaching on videos. Right? Then one of them Church of Rice dudes. You know what I'm saying? One of them Church of Rice, he came over to me, he said, he's like, nah, if you don't get baptized, you're going to hell. I was like, what? No. So we went back and forth on it. He was like, okay, so hold on. This is a commandment from God, right? I'm like, well, yeah, but he's like, ain't no but. It's a commandment from God. I was like, okay, I got you though. What about the two wicked people that was hanging on the cross with Jesus? Just my Christian self, right? Just hanging on the cross with Jesus. And he reached over to one of them. He said, today you will be with me in paradise. How about that? He didn't get baptized. He was like, yeah, but Yahushua didn't die yet. I was like, dang it. You know what I'm saying? I looked at it. Look, you got a darn point. The man didn't die yet. What is the baptism? What is the baptism?
Death.
It's death. The man, Yahushua told me, is like, listen, are you going to be baptized? He is like, man, you know what I'm saying, can I sit at your right hand? That's what John and James said. Can we sit at your right hand and your left hand? He's like, man, are you going to go through the baptism that I go through? He's like, surely you'll go through the baptism that I go through. Right? But he asked him first. He's like, are you going to go through the baptism? Because no, you're not going through the baptism I go through, but you're going to go through the baptism that I go through. You know what I'm saying? He kind of let him know, like, I'm going to be baptized and die. You're going to be baptized, and then you're going to die. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little different. You know what I'm saying? Like, the one that I'm going through, that's the big kahuna. So I get the big guns. I get all of the pleasure out of it. Right? He's like, you going to be baptized, and you going to die too. Is a little different, though. Right? So if ours is a representation of his, then how are we going to go through it before he do it? He had to die first. Right? Ain't nobody have to explain that to me. It's like Paul, right? As soon as Paul know, oh, Yahushua is real and that is the Messiah. Everything else line up. Click, 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 click. Ain't nobody got to teach him the gospel. I know the gospel. As soon as I confirm that fact, everything else got to line up, right? Same thing. When he said that to me, I'm like, I started making it point for him. I was like, oh, wait. Oh, because this, that, and the other, da, da, da. He's like, exactly. I was like, oh, all right, you right. Then I started lighting it butt up on everything else he was wrong about. But on that point, he was right. And that's something that's like, boom, what you gonna do? I'm not about to sit here and be like, well, no. I don't have time for that. We have to be right. That's the whole shebang. That's what we here for. We have to be right. If that means I have to admit I'm wrong, then what I'm gonna hold on to being wrong for if the goal is to be right? It just doesn't make sense. Right? But that's what these people lack, right? It's right there. So he bring it to you. He said it's secret.
The secret things belong unto the Lord our God.
Okay.
But those
so
things,
if don't nobody know it, that's God's. Right? But if somebody know it, let's hear about what somebody knows.
Those things which are revealed belong to us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law.
So you want to know what my question is? You ain't got no business knowing something that I don't know. That's how I feel. You don't have no business. I serve the Most High God. You have no business knowing something that I don't know. Oh, you know it? Okay, now I do too. Thanks. That's mine. The man told me, read that one more time. Man told me anything that was revealed is given to who?
But the things which are revealed belong to us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law.
I'm an Israelite. That thing given to us and our children. You got no business knowing something I don't darn know. That's crazy. If you tell it to me, I'm just not going to know it after that? That don't make sense. If you know it and you bring it to me and I don't know it, I feel like I'm disrespecting what the man just told me. Moses just told me it's given to us and our children if it's revealed. How you gonna tell me something about God and you know it, I don't know it? As soon as you tell it to me, guess who know it? I got that. That's it. Mine. Thanks. Makes sense. I love it. Give it here. I don't want to hear nothing about no plagiarism. I don't want to hear nothing. I came up with that first. God came up with it first. I stole it from him. I ain't steal it from you. I don't care nothing about these pride fights. Oh, man, Philip got that from me. Yeah, I got that from God. I don't care. I don't know what you talking about. None of these boys taught me a thing. None of these boys sat down and taught me a thing. You know why? Because I never came to their feet. I never said, hey, I believe what you... Anything I learned, I learned out of argument. I learned out, boy, you wrong about all these 7 things. And they might say something on an accident trying to prove a wrong point. And I'll be like, you don't know what you're talking about, but that's a good point for this over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you just said is a good point for this over here. You ain't even making this point. I got that. Who taught me that? That's the Most High God teaching me. You ain't teach me. How a liar gonna teach me something? That don't make sense. I don't attribute nothing to these people. I ain't never said at the feet of, listen, if I said it at your feet and you a man of God, oh, you can get all the credit in the world. Care nothing about these people running their mouth talking about, oh, I got that. I had this Christian dude talking that stuff on Facebook, talking about long time ago, talking about, oh yeah, he got that from me. Like, boy, ain't nobody getting that. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You don't even know the darn book. If you know it was revealed to me. If you happen to get it right, if we talking about if in Catholic school they taught you Yahushua was born of a virgin, and as a Hebrew I didn't know that, right? And I'm sitting here telling you like, no, God don't love everybody. No, he does love everybody because when Yahushua was born of a virgin, this, that, and the other, I'd be like, what? You said what now? Yahushua was born of a virgin. Who taught me that? Most High God taught me that. You ain't teach me nothing. Shut up. Run your darn mouth. It's in the book. Right? Let's see how the book go. This is Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 28.
The prophet that has a dream, let him tell a dream.
If a prophet got a dream, guess what he can tell? Go ahead and run your mouth. You got a dream? Go ahead and tell your darn dream. Right? But what else? He just got done before they're telling you that they liars, by the way. Just so you understand the context. So he's telling you if a prophet got a dream, let him have a dream, right? Let him tell his dream. But watch this.
And he that has my word, let him speak my word faithfully.
He telling you it's a difference. All these boys that's running around, be clear about what he's saying. When God speaks to a prophet, he does it by what?
Vision or dream.
A vision or dream. He just told you, these boys be lying. Then after that said, but if they have a dream, let them tell a dream. But if they have my word, let them speak my word faithfully. So what he's telling you is some of these boys is really having dreams. They still lying, but some of these boys is really having dreams, right? Some of these boys are lying to themselves. The reason why that people are able to do that or people fall into that trap is because we're not grounded in the word. If you're grounded in the word, can't no devil, can't no, like Mohammed, let's go back to him, right? He claims, and I'm going to take his word for it. He claims that an angel showed up to him, preaching the word to him about Islam, telling him this is what it is. And he wrote the book of the Quran, right? The Quran, right? How they be saying it, right? The Quran, right? You know what I'm saying? He wrote that book, you know what I'm saying? And put that thing together based off of what Gabriel told him, so-called, right? I believe that he saw something. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. At the end of the day, when I got book that says, even if an angel comes to you and say something different from my gospel that I'm telling you, let him be what?
Accursed.
If I got book telling me that, and then that happens directly after that, what am I supposed to do? Am I going to go with Mohammed? That doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. These boys, they see stuff, but if you know the word, I can refer back when Gabriel pop up to me talking that nonsense. And I'd be like, you a different Gabriel though. Or you the same Gabriel, but your butt don't obey God no more. One or two, either way. I ain't about to fool around with it. Let me go back to what Paul was talking about. That's the only thing that makes sense if you obey God. Only people that don't, these people that run around, they trying to make little, you know what I'm saying, make little side deals like, oh, well, actually, Christians and Hebrew Israelites and Muslims can all live together in peace. Oh, no, we can't. No, we can't. I come the same way that Yahushua come. When Yahushua come, he said he came for what? Peace?
War.
No, he said he came for the sword.
The sword.
He said he came to set at variance, man against woman, brother against sister, mother against son or daughter. You know what I'm saying? Father against son.
Yeah, a man's enemies would be the member of his own household.
His own household. He said, when I come, you gonna be fighting with your family over this stuff.
That's true. I can speak of experience.
That's what it is. That's the sign of the man. Like we have to get this stuff out of our head that it's supposed to be, huh?
I definitely fought mine.
Yeah. You gotta get this stuff out of your head that it's supposed to be like this. Like, oh, if it's of God, then it's this perfect picture. That don't fit the diagnosis. The man is telling you what it's gonna be like. If you got this perfect, oh, God is a God of family and this, that, and other, that's a lie because the man just told you that the people in your family gonna be the ones that you fighting with. I'm trying to figure out where'd you get that from, this God of family. Like, I can't find that nowhere. I can't find God of family anywhere in the book. I can't find you have to have a relationship with God anywhere in the book. So then if you getting that, okay, what can I find close to relationship with God? I don't know. Maybe where it say, you are my friend if you do whatever I command you. What can I say? What can I find close to like God and family? I don't know. Maybe when he said, you going to be warring with your family members. I can't get what y'all telling me in the book. I can't find that in the book. So somebody is lying. Somebody lied to you and you believed it, or you just lying to me. Either way, we got to figure this stuff out. We can't just sit here and keep on running around in circles, keep on believing these same darn lies, keep on bumping our heads on the same stuff, and then acting like, well, maybe nobody knows. Like, maybe you just haven't read the book. Maybe you haven't taken the time to actually look at the book and say, okay, this confirms what he said, and this invalidates what he said. Because that's all it takes. It ain't complete rocket science. It's just a matter of prove what you got to say, show me where you get it from, I can validate it or I can't validate it. And don't let these boys sit here and tell you that you looking at something and tell you it don't mean what it mean. You see what it mean. These boys run a number on you. Go ahead, keep going.
Is not my word like fire, says the Lord.
He said, this is the diagnosis. He said, is not my word like fire?
And like a hammer that breaks the rock in pieces.
And isn't it like a hammer that breaks the rock in pieces? This is the word. He said, man, if you get my word, you speak it faithfully. Then he asked a question, and ain't it like fire when you speak it? Don't these people be feeling like, woo? Right? He said, ain't it like a hammer that you could smash a darn rock? Well, these people get it, they be feeling broken. That's what the word is supposed to do. We've been taught that that's wrong. Matter of fact, when we it's crazy. When we preach the word to people, right? I'm not talking about like, oh, this is my opinion. When I tell you what the word say, I'm just quoting the word, but I don't say this is Genesis chapter, you know what I'm saying? I don't say this is Deuteronomy, this is Ephesians, you know what I'm saying? I don't say that. I'm just quoting the word, or I'm just paraphrasing what the word say to you. You know how people feel? Why you beating up on them?
Yep. You feel attacked.
Why you beating up on them with the word? Ain't that what they say? And they say that as if it's a bad thing. They don't understand that by saying that, you just fit the diagnosis of what's supposed to happen. And what happened? You resisted. The man tell you ain't got to get it, but the man tell you, Yahushua, he give you two options, man. He said, you can either fall on a rock and be broken, or you can have a rock fall on you and be ground to powder.
Ground to powder.
right? Those are your options. Do either of those sound desirable? Like, you have to understand, like, this is the diagnosis. Like, this is what's being described. Do either of those feel like, I'd love that? No, each one of those sound like it hurt. But if I gotta choose one, like they, you know what I'm saying, like they put these two presidents in front of us. You know what I'm saying? If I gotta choose one, I'm gonna choose the lesser of the pain. And I'd rather like fall on something and be broken than for something to grind me into powder. Like every day of the week, I'm gonna break my leg before you take my leg and you just completely pulverize it into powder. Cause I can put a cast on a broken leg. You know what I'm talking about? I can put a cast, I'll be on crutches for a little bit, but if you take my leg, cut it off, and just grind, I can't get that back. There's nothing I can do with that. So you have to ask yourself, like, what are you dealing with? These are, if you're choosing the option that's outside of what the Most High God gave you, chances are you're really choosing one of the options that he gave you and you just don't know it. If the man tells you you can either do this or you can do that, and somehow you come up with this magical third option, chances are you did pick one, you just don't know you picked one yet. Let's see, keep going. What do we got after that? He said it's like fire. That thing like a hammer. Goodness, that sound like it hurts.
Therefore, behold, I am against the prophet, says the Lord, that steal my words, everyone from his neighbor.
How do you steal words?
Lying.
Lying. Most High God tell you to say this and you say something else. Or you know what the word's saying, right? You looking at what the word's saying, and guess what? You tell them in front of the whole church, you tell them something totally different or something totally vain and empty. Something that don't make no sense. And then behind closed doors, you know what you say? I mean, I just didn't have enough time to go into all the details. You've stolen the word from these people. These people coming to you to hear the word of God. And you giving them some motivational, you know what I'm saying? Like some motivational, you know what I'm saying, hooray. And then your excuse for that is, it's just not enough time.
Right. It's like my homeboy just died, and you over here prancing around like everything cool right now.
It don't make any sense. It's not acceptable. When you assume this position, I give you the benefit of the doubt, Mr. Pastor. I give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you don't know any better. I'm here to tell you. You know what the response is? Who are you? Oh yeah, you right. You right. Who am I? Who am I? I tell you what, you be better off hearing it from me than hearing it from the man. You'd be better off hearing it from little old me than hearing it because I can't do nothing to you. As a matter of fact, I ain't got no desire to do nothing to you. The man gonna work your darn butt though. Do you understand that? Like the man is gonna work your darn butt. People don't even realize. You know what I'm saying? When they hear this word come across from a man of God, that you don't even realize, like, that is the only saving grace you had. Do you know how many lies is out here? Ain't nobody out here trying to tell y'all the truth but a few. Man of God come to you and tell you the truth, give you some honest correction, and do it out of love. I ain't talking about like the Christian love. They say, oh, we just doing this out of love, and they really ain't doing it out of darn nothing. I'm talking about a real love, and sure, it may hurt and offend you and all that stuff, but it should offend you when you're wrong. Something right come along, it should make you change. How you gonna change and not be offended? That don't make no sense. The truth should abruptly change your direction. It should affect you. It should feel like something. That thing should hit you. You know what it should feel like? I don't know, maybe a fire. Should be hot. Grab Luke chapter 24 for me. It's Luke chapter 24. You gotta help me out. I want to say Luke chapter 24, maybe verse 20, I don't know, 25, maybe 20. Let's try Luke 24:24. It feel right when I say it. Eventually, we got to pick up from where we left off last week. But people just, I mean, it's important because, I mean, people looking at this stuff and they looking for somebody to tell them the truth, some of them. And some of them just looking for somebody to just kind of confirm what they're doing. And what these guys do now, you know what I'm saying? What they do now is they don't go to no congregation. And I don't blame them, right? Because, you know what I'm saying, the average congregation can't teach you nothing anyway. They're just going to make a fool out of you. right? They don't go to a congregation, so they watch with a whole bunch of people online, and they don't want to be held accountable that way either, right? So it's like I just watch online. I keep sinning, but you know what I'm saying? I just watch whenever I feel like watching. That's cool. Like don't watch us though. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't keep sinning, don't watch us. Don't get to making yourself just watch one time. You know where to find it when you're ready to be righteous. But don't let us tickle your darn fancy. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to sing no darn song to nobody. I'm here to teach people the truth. You want to learn the truth, then you learn the truth and you do right. Other than that, man, that thing hurt my feelings. I feel like you can do wrong. You can keep listening to what we talking about. That thing don't feel like enough fire. You know what I'm saying? I need more fire then. You know what I'm saying? I need a bigger hammer. That thing's supposed to shock you. That thing's supposed to be like, nah. I like it when we watching on the live and I see a number pop up there and I know what I'm talking about and that thing say 1 and that thing drop right back down to 0. That means somebody looked at it, they heard something, like, nah, I ain't messing with that fool. I like it because I know y'all sinners. Right? I know y'all sinners, so it's like I only want 2 things. I want you to watch and be reformed, or I want you to not watch. Period. I don't want nobody sitting under me, listening to these words, because that thing's an indictment on me at that point. You sit here and you in sin? That thing don't make no sense. I can't compute that. It's like, goodness gracious, what am I doing? That's more work for me, because now I got to research and figure out, where did I go wrong? What am I doing wrong? I must have gone, something is wrong. They feel comfortable listening to the righteous word. Something must be wrong about what I'm saying. Your butt going to hell, I can't say it enough. You're going down hell. It ain't no side deal. There ain't nothing else to do about it. You're going to hell. So it's like, if you believe that, why in the world would you be sitting here? That's the part. I just don't get it now. We got to, you know what I'm saying? Get your butt on up out of here. I don't want you, you know what I'm saying? Call me when I'm here when you ready to turn around. Get your butt up out of here, though. Mess around and that stuff, jumping around on everybody up in here. We don't want none of that stuff. We don't want nobody want to catch that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to catch that. You know what I'm saying? You better go on. What's wrong with y'all? Right? The Most High God, man, we got to serve that man. That's what we here for. Let's see, what we go to? I forgot.
Luke 24.
It's Luke chapter 24. Help me out. What is it, 24 I want?
What you looking for?
I'm looking for the, you know what I'm saying, when he is preaching to us along the way, did we not have fire in our hearts? Did our hearts not burn? You know what I'm saying? When he is sharing them scripture with us, did our heart not burn? Ain't that what he said?
Mm-hmm.
It might be towards the end.
Okay.
Go to the last verse, maybe minus 5 verses. You know what I'm saying? 5 verses from the last verse.
Hold on.
It's definitely Luke 24. You tell me it ain't Luke 24, and now I'm going to be like, okay, listen. I got to get back in the gym.
It is 32.
Luke chapter 24, verse 32. Watch what the book say. You want to start before that?
29.
Nah, we ain't got to go that far back.
30.
All right, so it's Luke chapter 24, verse 30. Watch what the book say.
And it came to pass as he sat at meat with them, he took bread and blessed it and brake and gave to them. And their eyes were open and they knew him and he vanished out of their sight.
Watch this.
They said one to another, did not our heart burn within us while he talked with us by the way, while he opened to us the scriptures?
When he opened the scriptures, they described it as their heart burning. The man told you, is not my word like a fire? Like a hammer that breaks the rock in pieces? What I'm trying to explain is that if you as a Christian or as a Muslim or as a Hebrew Israelite are not, if you can't agree with these descriptions of the effects of the word, then at some point you have to ask yourself, maybe I ain't in nothing. Maybe this is not it. Like if all you getting is a warm, tingly feeling down your spine, like maybe that's something else. Maybe something else is happening there. This thing's supposed to convict you. It's supposed to make you feel something. You're supposed to be sad after the book hits you. Book, it ain't too much stuff to make me cry in this world. Book make me cry. And I mean reading it, just like, I used to darn break down when I was learning this thing. It ain't too much in this world that makes me cry. I look at this thing and I'm like, goodness gracious, that's what it is. And I've been wrong this whole time. And all these people, they don't even realize it. And we've been lied to this whole time. And we the people, and we get beat down like this whole time. And this is the effects of committing sin. And you mean to tell me if I do that, then my kids gonna have to go through all this stuff? And this is all the stuff I done did in my life. So I know I can't escape that my kids gonna have to deal with it. That should be enough to break a man or a woman down. And if it don't, maybe you not hearing the word. Just maybe. Maybe it's something else going on. Maybe if you don't feel that burn when the word is preached, then maybe the word ain't being preached. I mean, sure, maybe you got a preacher. And sure, maybe you hearing something. And maybe you believe in what you hear. But maybe the preacher ain't sent from God. So therefore, maybe he ain't God's preacher. And therefore, maybe what you believe ain't word. And therefore, maybe what you heard ain't word. Where we leave off last week?
Luke 16, the end of Luke 16, so I think we're on 17.
Let's do Luke chapter 17. We got to get all the way through Luke. I think we got to get through Luke 19.
Then said he unto the disciples, it is impossible, but
Then said he unto what?
The disciples.
Guess what you will never see? You look through the whole gospel. Guess what you will never see? You won't see then said he unto the Christians. Then said he unto the ISUCPK, to the ICUU. You know what I'm saying? To all these darn weird alphabet, you know what I'm saying, combinations. You ain't gonna never see, then he said this unto the Catholics, to the Muslims, to the Mohammedans, as they used to call them, right? You'll never see these things. There's only one thing throughout the book, Old Testament and New Testament, when it comes to the people that follow the Messiah, the people of the Most High God, he calls them disciples. My thing is, this is my thing. It's the easiest thing to identify and to get. Why is it so rare? Like, those are the type of things that I look at and be like, oh, that's clear. The devil's at work. Right? Because it's like, oh, this is, like, obviously, like, you know what I'm saying? He called it, literally, we read the word, he called them disciples. How in the world you get and pull Christian? You pull Muslim. You pull all these different things. It's like the man called them what he called them, and we don't even take it. So that means, oh, yeah, somebody working us.
It's so hard for some people to be like, instead of me saying, being a Christian and me actually become a disciple, it's hard for them like to just accept that.
Yeah, and I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about becoming a disciple? For a Christian, that's like a super Christian. When they be looking at, you say a disciple to a Christian, be like, oh, no, we got a discipleship program in my church. Like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't. You got some at your church. You ain't got no real discipleship program, but discipleship program. What's wrong with these people? I just don't understand, like, what's wrong? The book is right here, and they put all this extra on it. All this extra on the stuff. And it's just like, man, a book right here, and that thing, simple book said right there. Read it again for me.
Then said he unto his disciples.
I got that. It shouldn't even be no more discussion. You would think, like, man, that's where I want to be. Because I read it, like, we all reading the same thing, and it's there. It's not like I put it there. It's like the man just put, it's like, that's what I want to be. I want to be what he called his disciple. Why would I want to be anything else? You let these people tell you try to take Christianity from these people. Woo. You talking about a fire and breaking a rock in pieces. Goodness gracious, they gonna come at you with some stuff.
Bro,
you try to take away their Christianity.
Them black Christians be banging on
Oh boy, you don't play with them black Christian boy. They'll tell you like, good, no, that and the other. I had black Christians try to argue that Jesus is white. I'm looking like,
Bro, that's insane.
I'm like, you have no idea who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have no idea who you are. It just like, man, it's just a number. Like, how you defend? But it ain't no different from what we're looking at now. It ain't no different from what you're looking at now. They They freaked out yesterday on Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? I mean, completely spazzed out.
What Ice Cube say?
That's what I was looking at. I was like, why? What's all that? I mean, I got Christians saying, F Ice Cube. I'm looking like, what? I was like, what song is that from? You know what I'm saying? I'm looking like, what in the world happened? So I started looking. I'm like, okay, something must have happened. There's too many people. You know what I'm saying? You got my ADOS people. They out there. They defending it. Like, man, no, I like what Cube did. I'm like, okay, well, what did Cube do? Then Tone, you know what I'm saying? Tone talks. You know what I'm saying? He pop on a video with Ice Cube. So I was like, okay, let me watch it. So Ice Cube was like, look, this is all that happened. He was like, I came up with something called a contract for Black America. That's it. Contract for Black America. And so it's like a black agenda. He was like, so I put in there the stuff that I'd like to see.
I know Tone Talks was saying that thing was whack, but.
Mm-hmm. He told him to his face too. But he is like, I put that thing out for everybody to see. And the Democrats contacted me. He's like, and you know what the Democrats said? They said, we'd like about 85% of your plan. So we'd like you to come sit down with us after the election. And then he says, then Trump's people contacted me. And Trump people said, hey, we'd like to know if we could use part of your plan to help a plan that Donald Trump wants to roll out for black people. It turns out that plan was called the Platinum Plan. And that's the Black America plan for Trump that he rolled out a couple weeks ago. So it just came out recently that was due to, or it was, you know, some of the things in there came from Ice Cube and his contract with Black America. So a black lady, black woman working for Trump, tweets out, haters are gonna hate, leaders are gonna lead. Thank you, Ice Cube, for helping us with the Platinum Plan. Right? What is she trying to do? She's trying to, you know what I'm saying? She's trying to stir mess up, right? Of course. Right? So then everybody loses their collective minds. And so you see all these celebrities, all these people, all these talking heads, everybody, Ice Cube, you were idiot. You think Trump is gonna do that and like this? Ice Cube was like, no, you guys don't understand. I came up with a plan. Both parties reached out to me. It ain't like I went, hey, Trump, please do this for. He said, both parties reached out to me. And he said, I'm down for putting it on the table for anybody to do. He's like, I'm not looking for only Democrats to do it. I don't care who does it. It needs to be done, right? Then they lose their mind on him. My thing is, let's stop and analyze for a second. Trump, although maybe disingenuous, right, says, let me take part of your plan. Democrats said, hey, sit your butt down right here and talk to us after we win this election. Like, shut up. In other words, like, why would you call, let's just think about this. Why would I call you and tell you I agree with 85% of your plan, but I don't want to talk to you about your plan until after the election? Why would I call you now to say that to you? What message am I trying to send to you?
Hold on.
Shut up.
Hold on.
Just shut up. I'm trying to appease you. Oh, no. I'm with you. 85%. We'll talk more later. Just go ahead and drop it. And we get mad at Ice Cube? The continuous disrespect for our people from the Democrat Party is absolutely unreasonable. It is absolutely unreasonable. And we're so confused about all this stuff that we get mad at Ice Cube about it. It's just not a reasonable thought. I was watching a video, I almost want to pull it up. I was watching a video of, it's a lady named Ann Coulter. And I'm gonna do a video on this because everybody needs to understand this and see this. Because it's such an unrealistic, but yet real representation of exactly what's happening before our eyes. Like anybody who knows like the history of Democrats and Republicans and all that, like they would know that we started out pretty much voting Republican, right? And you know, everybody say the party switched, but the switch, right? The real switch was for votes. We vote Republican, we put pressure on Republicans. Republicans eventually emancipated slaves, right? So that's why we voted Republican. So we put pressure on Republicans to give us civil rights and do this for us and do that for us and this, that, and the other. And it doesn't happen. Democrats see an opening there And Democrats say, we'll give it to them. That then makes Democrats upset that are racist. So when the Republicans see that, they say, okay, hold on. You took our black folks because you're willing to do more for them than what we'll do. But by doing that, you may mess up some of your white voters, because some of your white voters don't like the black folks. So guess what the Republicans do?
Take the white voter.
I'm going to take them white voters then. So that's how the party switched. It wasn't like a switch, right? It was just them saying, I have an opportunity to pivot and get these voters, and now that leaves up an opening for the other voters for the other side. So then you'll have the Democrats own the South, right? So then you have Republicans going down, and that's where they get this dog whistling from. And they get this term called the Southern strategy, because you would go down to the South where the Democrats usually own it, and you'll start saying stuff that's like kind of racist, right? Because Republicans was always seen as like, oh, they for the black folks. So as a Democrat, I don't want to deal with no, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to deal with no Republican. A Republican come down there and they start saying some stuff that's just like, yeah, you know, and these black people on welfare, you know, the Democrats are giving them, you know, they're giving them all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't need that. That's y'all hard on stuff. They start saying stuff like that. Then white folks say, I'm going to vote Republican now. So that's how you get now the Republicans are seen as the racists and all this stuff when it was originally the Democrats. Well, what happened there with us is that we were like, we're going to vote Republican. We're going to vote Republican. The Republicans then messed us over. And so we started voting Democrat. You'll see that the same thing is playing out right now in the same way, right? Republicans disrespected us, didn't want to do nothing for us, this, that, and the other, took us for granted. Then we switched. And now we have the Democrats doing the same thing. And you see what are the Republicans trying to do? They trying to say, well, okay, well, we can do, I mean, we ain't going to give you reparations, but we'll, you know what I'm saying, we can do a few things for you. So they trying to capture and say, okay, they not willing to do it for you, we can do that if you vote for us. And Republicans don't even care if we vote for them, because they got enough white folks that'll vote for them. Republicans is what the Republicans care about. We just need y'all to not vote for Democrats. So that's the battle. That's why everything is so polarized, right? That's why everybody gets so mad at Ice Cube, because they looking at it and be like, dang it, the Republican strategy is going to work and Ice Cube is falling for it, right? The Republican is just trying to get you to not vote for Biden because Biden is going to win. But if we have Trump in for another X amount of years, we're all going to die. So what are we going to do? We have to, I mean, at all costs, we just have to, okay, Ice Cube is an idiot. And so you see this stuff. And it's like, wait a minute. You guys have gotten so lost in the sauce that you've lost sight of reality. Like, you've lost sight that, like, it's not reality that we're all going to die if Trump lasts another 4 years. Like, that's just not reality. It's not reality that Biden is a better choice than Trump. In fact, Biden is Trump. Biden is the more polished, more political version of Trump. They're both darn racist. They both don't care nothing about black folks. They both in law and order. You see Trump and everybody be like, Trump is all about law and order and this, that, and other. And really what that means is he's going to lock up black people. Yeah, probably. Okay, well, Biden actually put a law and order bill called the crime bill that locked up black people. And now the man comes back and he say, you know, it might have been a mistake that I supported that bill. No. You didn't support the bill. You wrote the darn bill. In fact, you said it's the Biden bill. That's what you were calling it. And we got video of it. But we're so lost in this twilight zone that it's just like reality don't even take effect anymore, because we have several layers of just lies that we believe. And the scariest thing about the pandemic, about all this stuff, is that it shows that people will collectively, knowingly believe a lie if they've been persuaded to do so for whatever is a better cause, right? So if I make you so scared of Trump, we will all pretend like we don't see a man that like is going through dementia right in front of us and like he's fit to be president. Like, everybody will pretend. You can't talk to a Democrat and be like, oh, no, but Trump looked worse than him. Like, no, but that's not reality, though. Like, I understand your talking point and this, that, and other, but it's like people get lost in the strategy. Like, now, so you get to a point like people don't even know what to believe because they lost themselves. Like, it started off as, okay, I'm just going to say this and do this to get Trump elected. I mean, to get Biden elected. But then so much that they actually start believing this stuff, and now they don't even know what to believe. Like people don't understand the effect of what this election cycle is going to have on people. People are going to look back 8, you know what I'm saying, maybe 12 years from now and be really messed up from the psychological, you know what I'm saying, trauma that this is going to do to people. Because people are going against core morals that they held their whole life, but strictly out of fear and out of pressure and out of being bullied by media and by Democrats and by Republicans and by all these different outfits, by all these different places, stuff being dangled in front of you. You told you can't do this. Like, that's what we are as a people. That's what's happened to us our whole time here. So that's why when it's like, I propose to you and be like, nah, reparations, you'll have our own people saying, nah, man, we just need to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. Man, we just need to, you know what I'm saying? Nah, we don't need no handout.
Because, my boots were stolen and I want to get them back.
Like, but what are you talking about, though? Like, those are Republican talking points. Which brings me to this video that I was talking about. And I really want to pull it up, but I'm not. You know what I'm saying? It's a video of a woman named Ann Coulter, who's a Republican of Republicans, right? And then there's 2 other Democrats. One name is Torrey. He's a black man. He's sitting in the middle. And then the other one, I forget her name, but she's a white woman and she works for the Young Turks. She's a Democrat as well. So they're having a conversation with Ann Coulter, and they ask her about black people and pretty much reparations and all that. Pretty much, not reparations per se, but they asked her pretty much what does America owe to people, right? And why does she feel like, you know what I'm saying, like people should be left out or shouldn't come to the country and this, that, and other. So they try to lump together as they do people of color. And so Ann Coulter was like a Republican of Republicans. She is like, no, those immigrants shouldn't be able to do this and this, that, and the other. And like, well, see, you're racist, this, that, and the other. You don't like black people to be able. She's like, no. She's like, I'm not talking about black people. Like, African Americans have been here from the beginning. They are American, more American than a lot of these immigrants. She's like them, yes, they, you know what I'm saying, it was slavery and Jim Crow, so they have a claim. She's like, they have a claim. Yeah, sure, we know that there's something wrong there, and yes, we probably have to fix it and this, that, and other. She's a Republican. She's like, we probably have to fix it, this, that, and other. She have a claim. She's like, but you can't cross the border and then choose to come here, you know what I'm saying, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So she went into all that spiel. They didn't know how to respond to this woman. They was looking at her and they were like flabbergasted, but then you know how people act like, I'm aghast. Oh, I just can't. That was so stupid. I can't even think of what to say. They like putting on that front, but really, you don't know what to say.
She's spot on.
Because you know that there's no way that you can please this whole crowd. Because you got black people in this crowd that's like,
yeah.
Now they're going with the Republican like, she right, you can hear them in the crowd. They're like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like you can hear it in the video. I'm like
black people contributed so much to this economy.
Yes, and you had this white Republican, not because she's a good person, right? She's doing it because she's saying, well, listen, if I gotta concede something, I'm gonna concede it to the Negroes. I ain't about to give it to all of them. Like, that's how she doing it. She not looking at it like, oh, this is just the right thing to say and the right thing to do. She's looking like, all right, for sure. Okay, I got to give something up here. So if I'm going to give something up, then I'm giving it to our Negroes. Because I'm going to take America over immigrants, you know what I'm saying? So she's so America that she going to take the Negro who she don't like either. But it's like, well, at least they American. The rest of these people ain't American. Right?
But we as American as they come. We
more American than them. You take half of these white folks, you know what I'm saying? Like, you trace them back, like, oh, no, you know what I'm saying? My grandfather came here. My great-grandfather came
Irish,
here. Like, no.
Polish.
Well, my great-grandfather was here. And his great-grandfather was a slave. Like, what you talking about? We've been here from the get. What you talking about?
As American as they come.
You can't find nothing more American than that. A lot of Americans ain't American like we are.
Right, Bernie Sanders, what, the Polish immigrant or something like that?
He Jewish. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the white Jewish. Right? So you look at it, and then they sit there and they baffle and kind of look at each other, and they're, I just can't. So I'm looking at it, I was like, oh, this is beautiful. Because I'm like, how are they going to deal with this? Because I'm listening to the crowd, and you can hear like a small section of the crowd like, and kind of rolling with Ann. So I'm like, this is interesting. This is very interesting. And so then after that, the black dude, his weak, I mean, just as weak as possible. He like looking at the girl. He got his mic. He's looking at the white girl and on this side. He looking at the white girl, like say something. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you believe this? It's just like saying something. So I'm looking at it. I'm like, I want to pull this video up so bad. I'm looking. I'm like, oh, you have nothing to say, and you're weak. You the black dude. Yo, but know it's right. You know what she's saying is right, and you can't bring yourself to agree. You gonna sit here and you gonna work against the interests of your own people just because you got this line that you gotta toe.
Democrat, Republican.
That's nasty. That's disgusting. So the white woman come up and she realized that I gotta say something because obviously this weak Negro ain't gonna say nothing. So you know what she said? She said, well, you know what? She said, she took what she said completely out of context. She is like, you are so racist because basically what you just said is that black people can't get ahead if there's immigrants here and that they don't have what it takes to compete in this, that, and the other, and da-da-da. That's what she's like, no, that's not what I said at all. She's like, no, that's not what I said. She said, she's like, what I said is that you have black people who are complaining, and I quoted you a specific complaint from a black person that they try to get a job, but it's given to immigrants. They try to do this, but it's given to immigrants, although they're from here and this is their country and they shouldn't have to compete with this. And then you hear black folk, like at first black people were like, yeah, oh, you can hear them in the crowd. This time you can hear them, for Ann. They clapping for the Republican, right? So I'm listening, I'm like, this is freaking amazing to me.
Like this never happened.
Like this, like you can see the shift that's happening at a larger scale. You can see it. It's like it's beautiful to me. Not because somebody's clapping. I don't care about nobody clapping for a Republican. I'm saying that I don't know the word for it. Maybe a microcosm is what they call it. It's a small representation in real time of what's happening in longer time at a larger scale over the country, right? This is happening before our eyes, but this is just like a sample version of what's really happening at a large scale. And like we get to see it kind of play out as a metaphor almost, right? So I'm looking at it like, wow. And so they start clapping for her. So guess what the white woman come back with? Bro, I cannot, we watching this video after study, right? I cannot explain, the white woman that is a Democrat came back with all the Republican talking points. She said, well, you know what? It's a free market. Free market is a Republican thing, right? It's a free market out there. And the reason why immigrants can get hired over a black person is because they know 2 languages, right? And she said the black people need to learn more languages. They have to compete. That's that and the other. There's no excuse for it. This, that, and the other. So she went full on attacking black people. And I don't, like when I show you guys this, literally attacking them. Wow. She went from, you're racist, like in the matter of minutes, bro. She went from you're racist because you're putting down black people to her reflecting what usually the Republicans say. It was the most amazing and beautiful representation of how the psychology is just being warped and people are just being scrambled. Don't nobody know who they are or what they're doing because we're under so many layers of lies. That this politics, this stuff is messing people up. It's a civil war happening right now.
Yep. It is.
I told y'all about the man who shot the other dude. I didn't tell y'all about the security guard who shot the man who dropped the mace.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I heard about that.
Like, you got all these type of, you know what I'm saying? You got the white boy who shot the other white folks, you know what I'm saying? He, you know what I'm saying, 17-year-old boy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
stole a gun and shot these other folks. Like, all over the country, you got the lady at the Republican conference, You know what I'm saying? She came to a Republican conference. She was a nurse. You know what I'm saying? She just got put in jail because she pulled out her weapon on one of the Antifa dudes, right? These people getting at each other ain't got nothing to do with us. Let's just be clear. That thing ain't got nothing to do with us.
Yeah, y'all better stay out their way.
You better get out these people fight. Matter of fact, now that I look back at it, when Torre was sitting there and like, he might have had the right idea. This ain't got nothing to do with me no more. Y'all just fight. Y'all figure this thing out. He might have had the right. I might have to revise my opinion of him. Because that might have been the best move. Like, let me shut my butt up.
The Democrats had the Republican talking points. Huh?
Bro, I'm going to show you the video after we get done.
That's crazy.
It was the most amazing thing. And I don't mean amazing because support went one way. I don't care nothing about that. Just the representation of how the mental effect that all this stuff is having on people. Right? The way people have to position, they have to change their position to try to get, you know what I'm saying, what they think is right. You can never say the other person's
right when they are right. You know what I mean?
You can't. Because strategically that's bad for the Democrats, or strategically that's bad for Republicans. So although I know I hate these black
Republicans
folks,
got that look, in their court right now with that
because, well, yeah, they put it in their court because everybody telling so many lies, right? So it's like when you can make Donald Trump look like he's telling the truth, you're like, you know he's a liar. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you tell so many lies on him that it make him look true, it's like, oh, well, it's a win-win for him. Because we all knew he was a liar when they voted for him. Like, they voted for him like, oh, I know this man's full of it. But y'all had them believing y'all was telling the truth. So now when y'all get caught lying, it's not the same. Like, they accepted him as a liar, and despite that, voted for him. They have the impression that you tell the truth. It's not the same game. Obama could have never played the game that Trump played. Because Obama came into it not being himself, being the well-polished politician that you have to be. Trump said, no, I'm walking into this thing being, you know what I'm saying, whatever. And that's why you see people like 50 Cent, they like, I'm conflicted. And everybody is. Everybody looking at Trump that has any sort of like manly gangster, anything about him, you gonna be conflicted because you look at it and be like, what he's doing taps into like this manly, like gangster, brutal, like, you know what I'm saying, I do it my own way. Like, I break all the rules and stuff. So anybody from hip hop, anybody, like, I don't care what they say, you look at that and be like, goodness, great. Like, cause that's our culture, like to break the rules and this, that, another. We had to fight for everything. We had to break the rules and figure out how to do it despite not having it. So when they see Trump come up like that, and Trump was already a hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was a hip hop icon. We all, you know, we always talked about Trump and all this stuff in hip hop. So it's like, when you see that, yes, that's a conflicting thing. Cause like, man, that's what 50 Cent was saying. He was like, man, it's like, it's gangster though. It's like, man, I disagree with everything the man's saying, but you look at it, it's like, but that thing gangster. You know what I'm saying? Cause you look at it, it's like, he come in, it's like, everybody know who he is, what he do, what he about. They know he full of it. They know he gonna get whatever he want to get by hook or by crook, and they voted for him like that. So now that gives him a whole other level of freedom. I don't have to pretend. I don't have to do nothing of this. Like, they have full expectation of who I am. Obama, Bush, all these other people, they can't do that. They have to maintain this facade. So the problem is when people see Trump getting away with stuff, guess what? Oh, well, maybe we can get away with lies too, or get away with name calling. Like Trump, he can call names. That's his thing. Crooked Hillary, and it's that he can call names. Guess what? As soon as Biden on the debate stage went, this clown, oh, he gonna get beat up for it. He don't know the effects of that. He think in his mind like, oh, well, he did it, I can do it too. Oh, this clown, why don't you shut up? Right? He talking to him like that. He trying to talk like Trump be talking. Take it back a year when he had debating Obama. Did he do that? So now he's getting out of character. They accept Trump because Trump has been in his character this whole time. You're changing your character. These people don't see the effects of that though. They just getting caught up and like, well, if Trump do it, I can do it too. I can stoop down to your level. And they said, no, you can't. Yo, better maintain. I can tell these Democrats how to beat Trump. Like, let me be your political advisor. I like Trump butt up easy. Money is easy. It's not even hard. Y'all just got to keep lying the way y'all been lying. Don't try to change it up and lie differently now. You know what I'm saying? Tell the same lies that everybody been believing this whole time. Why you going to go to some lies that everybody not going to believe? That's crazy. That don't make no darn sense. Just because he got you all y'all out of the paint, he surprised y'all. He surprised y'all because even with Hillary Clinton, y'all ain't had no strategy. Y'all took the man for granted and y'all just thought y'all can call him an idiot the whole time and everybody will roll with it. Now y'all doing the same strategy. Think you can just call him an idiot and a liar the whole time and people will roll with it. They knew he was an idiot and a liar when they voted for him the first time.
The look on their face when he won, bro, they couldn't believe it.
Oh, I'm scared of what the look gonna be this time. This time, people dying. Like, it might just happen. These people already fighting in the street. They already shooting each other up. Over what?
I don't know.
They try to say it's over us. This thing ain't got nothing to do with us. Y'all don't care nothing about no, we just pawns. Where we at?
Luke 17.
In Luke chapter 17, verse what?
1.
Goodness gracious. All right, we're gonna pick up next week in Luke chapter 17, verse 1. We ain't read none of the book. All right? We're gonna look at it. All right, any questions? All right, let's pray out.